So I expected to get pushback about me saying that the Freemasons are being persecuted, but that's the history. So I immediately got some heat. This from YouTube. So I want to address it. Really, Bethany, remember the infamous quote of the Freemasonic Albert Pike, who said, "Lucifer, the light bearer, strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning, is it he who bears the light, and with its splendor intolerable blinds feeble, sensual, or selfish souls? Doubt it not." Yes, he said that, but that's been totally misconstrued in every way. He despises Lucifer. And then you went on to say the god of Freemasonry is Lucifer. No, it's not. As for persecution, the Catholic Church also persecuted Muslims. Does this mean Muslims are righteous? Well, the innocent Muslims, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put Hezbollah as innocent or Hamas. I mean, they're terrorist organizations. But as far as the normal Muslims, yeah, because the Catholic Church is pure. Everybody the Catholic Church persecutes, they persecute because they want to be king of the world. Furthermore, about, and the reason I don't believe that it doesn't make sense to. So to go back to the Morals and Dogma by Albert Pike. Regarding that. In Morals and Dogma of the Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, Episcopalian Freemason of the Scottish Rite, Albert Pike writes exaggeratedly and ponderously in question in Lucifer the Light Bearer and everything you just said about the light bearer, strange and mysterious name. And what he's saying, he's that he despises all the pomps and works of Lucifer. So that has been totally misconstrued. But they would want to go after Albert Pike because Albert Pike was he was an American author, poet, orator, editor, lawyer, jurist, and Confederate States Army general who served as the Associate Justice of the Arkansas Supreme Court in exile from 1864 to 1865. He had previously served as senior officer of the Confederate States Army commanding the District of the Indian Territory in the Trans-Mississippi Theater. A prominent member of the Freemasons, Pike served as the sovereign Grand Commander of the Supreme Council Scottish Rite Southern jurisdiction from 1859 to 1891. So he's a perfect target for the Catholic Church because, as I was trying to say yesterday in my videos, if Scotland was the chosen after the resurrection, if they hold such as the MacLeod clan holds keys, not actual keys, but holds gems or things that, such as the Holy Grail, then that's how you would create a Scottish Rite to begin with, to protect itself, but to also they would not recognize they always had problems with the Catholic Church, and then so did the Freemasons. All of it's part of the same thing. And yet it's the Catholic Church that was the problem. It was the popes persecuting them. The other reason I don't believe this is because I've read enough letters on foundersarchives.gov by George Washington, Benjamin Franklin. There's no way these people, and they were Freemasons, so there's no, these people, the way they were, they weren't into Lucifer. They spoke badly about Lucifer. They were worried about evilness. But the way evilness would do it would be to convince you that the very organization that's standing up for freedom and standing on the right side of Jesus is the very organization of wickedness, and they're not. This is generated, the Catholic Church has generated all this. This is what they're known to do. The Roman Empire created the Roman Catholic Church, okay, just to infiltrate groups so that they can have more power and control. Their whole history is nothing but war and wrong teachings, and then the 75-year abuse history to children. And then yet, people wonder, well, then why are the Masons go secret? Well, look at how big the Catholic Church became in America. And yet they knew their history going way back with them. But they weren't, in the beginning, they weren't secret. That's the reason their emblems are on so many of our most notable monuments. And yet there's people here that want to make you think that our founding was found on evilness. No. Go read George Washington's, his letters, and Ben Franklin's, and what these men had to say. They were not on the side of evil. They were on the side of righteousness. That's what they stood for. And yes, they were Freemasons. So common sense tells you that somebody's persecuting the Freemasons. Are there groups that want to create themselves? That the Catholic Church, I'm sure, created throughout its history, no matter what group it was trying to go after at whatever time in history, that would say we're the Freemasons, we're the Scottish Rite, and we do all this wicked stuff just to lead people astray? Absolutely. The Catholic Church is known for it. I mean, they are the Pharisees. So, yeah, you have to look at more than just one line in a book he writes. He clearly is stating that this wondrous, him being considered a light bearer, and yet what he's saying is he despises him. You should read further. And yes, the Catholic Church persecuting Muslims, innocent Muslims, yeah, they're innocent too. So, Albert Pike would be this kind of person they would want to go after because he was tied to the Scottish Rite. And the Scottish Rite, in my opinion, were the group that initially I think were trying to protect the true teachings of Jesus. And that's why they were being persecuted. So, we need to stop being stupid, and I mean myself included, okay? Because it doesn't line up. George Washington was a Freemason, Ben Franklin was, many others of our founders were. And yet, everything I've read of letters that they wrote to each other or back and forth or to their constituents, they always were talking, yes, about good and evil, but they were talking about how evil disguises itself. And they were not on the side of Lucifer, because to believe that means that America's founding was founded on Lucifer, and it was not. It was founded with a covenant with God. And the Freemasons, just like back in their history, have been being persecuted. They have been trying to persecute them now as well. So I hope that answers any of my critics' questions.